It's a design tool. Okay, now we are live. Good. I will repeat again because I already started. I don't know if you were here or not. Hello. On Friday, permaculture vibes. Watch, learn, and grow. And last time we talk a lot actually about green wild plants, which you can use for the salads, for the any kind of dishes. But today, the topic will be totally different. Today, we will talk about nursery in Avnø Oasis. And I call it smart way to grow because I also want to show you the design tool, SADIMET. We use it in permaculture to design the process, for example, to design the creating a nursery, like we will talk today. It's a very simple tool to start with, so that's why I want to share it with you. And let's go to the next slide. Yeah. So in permaculture, we say that 90% of our time needs to be observation, analysis, design. It's kind of preparation and thinking, basically. And just 10% of our time it's doing. It's implementation, maintenance, and maybe some changes at the end of the project. So it's really important. And if you haven't done like 90% of planning, it means that you will do more percentage of doing. And do we really need it? Like it's easy to do planning, like very precise and very like long process of designing, planning, and then just go to implementation. And let's go next. Okay. And small introduction why we want to create a nursery. Actually, in our place, because Avnø Oasis has 21 hectares of land, and some of the land occupies with buildings and roads. 5 of them it's a forest, and the biggest part of the land it's holistic grazing. But still, we have about 3 hectares of land for forest garden. And we want to do kind of introduction to regenerative and sustainable solutions. So we want to show people because we have students and we have many people who goes to nature center close to us. So it's also nice they can just stop near our place and learn something and see something interesting. Yes, we also want to create a biodiversity and plenty of edible plants to provide the community with food, medicine, teas, spices, and other goods. Yeah, and of course we need lots of seedlings and to start forest garden. Yeah, next. And I will start with me because we have 3 ethical principles of permaculture. It's earth care, people care, and fair share. And that's why like taking care of me, it's a priority. And I would like to see if how it relates, how this creating of nursery can relate with my goals. And I find out that I want to build a balance between personal life and work, how to work from desire and inspiration, not from necessity, to work with new climate zone for me, and actually new plants. Learn more about crafting and cuttings, provide myself and my children with our own food in future, have extra income, and enjoy giving new life. Next. Yeah. So here we are. This is Go SADIMET. Go means goals. And then we will talk about each letter in this word. S means survive. A means analysis. D means design. I means implement. M maintenance, and so on. I don't think you will remember it, but on each slide you will see there the description. Yeah, it's the main tool. I used some other tools, but we will talk today. We will talk only about this. Next. Yeah. Now I'm looking on my needs and possibilities. As I said, it's important to be aligned with your needs, with your actually limits, and then I put them here. Maybe it's not all, but just the main things I could find relate to the nursery. Yeah, I need to be flexible because of 3 kids, need to stay home most of the time, need to be outside, need to do what I like, need to feel success, need to share the knowledge, to have limited physical work. And I have possibility to stay home almost all the time, so it goes both ways. It's kind of maybe not so good, and maybe it's a good for the nursery. Possibility to take care of plants properly, and possibility to use my knowledge. Yeah, please next, Bob. Yeah. And we have kind of 3 clients here. Of course, the first, it's a community members. But Bob, if you can go for a while, for a second to the next slide. No, the next. Yes, I also have students and guests like my client, and Earth like my client. And then you can go back to the community members. Yes, thank you. As I usually say, my aim to combine the needs of clients with needs of Earth, where all the sides will be satisfied. So it's really important when you implement or when you design something, you need to think not only about clients but also about like how it will affect soil, how it will affect plants, water, and so on. So that's why we need to take into consideration not only client, like which ask us to design something, asked us. Yeah. So for community members, um, we need to provide cheap and strong seedlings to have food, fruit and leaves and nuts and juice, oils, spices, flowers, pollen, leaves, branches, roots, and so on. So many things you can use from the plants. Wood for structures, tools, medicines, seeds, flowers, materials for needlework, fertilizer, stories, art objects, income. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, and the next will be students and guests, because we have students and the guests as well. Visual and practical learning material. We will offer our guests and students to join growing plants with us. So we need enough place for many people for planting, enough tools and equipment, clear instructions and signs. And also we can share seedlings to spread useful plants with them. Yeah, and it's a second ethical principle, the fair share. Actually, not second, third, fair share. And we also have earth care, and we want to keep biodiversity, shelter and food for insects, birds, and small animals, preservation of local species, and avoidance of invasive species. You know that some plants, they are really aggressive, and usually we avoid to plant them so they can like take all the space and take all the soil. Yeah, so we need to think about it as well. Please next. Yeah. And we are on the step survey, so we are kind of collecting all the information we have to do analysis and then to do design. So we are on the first step, on the letter S, survey. And I just made a list of resources which we have in Avnø. Like it's just about us, but you can also think about your resources which you have. It could be like some financial resources, some like tools and just space or land, or your knowledge also could be a resource, or help from other people, or collaboration with your neighbors. It could be also a resource. Here we don't think only about like something like which you can buy with money, but also maybe not material resources. Please, next slide. Yeah. And I have some criteria about where should I put my nursery. So I also think about it because we're a really big place, and I just put some criteria, and then I like have them, and and I can easily see the place which suits all these criteria. So it needs to be visible, close to water, protected from wind and strong summer sun, close to tools, and easy to take care. Yeah, please, next. Mhm. And I also learned a little bit about weather conditions. So we are in a climate zone 8, and it's possible. I just noticed for myself, it's possible to try plants from zone 9 as well. We have strong wind very often. The minimum temperature -7 and maximum temperature around 30 degrees. And we have rain 170 days, and it's 700 almost 60 millimeters per year. So it's quite a lot rain. Yeah, next slide. And then we go to the analysis. So it's the next letter, analysis, in this word SADIMET. And I used the tool identify limiting and helping factors. So limiting factors for us will be lack of time, lack of hands, lack of diversity of the plants around, not enough stable people here. And helping factors, knowledge, my knowledge, resources, which I mentioned already, help from time to time, free planting material available, and we can get help from our students. I don't know if they will be agree with this, but I will try to ask and see how it works. Usually they are really open to learn something new and to join. Please, next. Yeah. And I analyzed our place, and I decided that the best place which fits for all of these criteria I chose, it's a place, you can see this place inside, kind of between the buildings, because there we have pathway pathways, and then it's really nice to have already like a line place, and a place without weeds to put the pots there. And I also decided to use greenhouse which is already exist, to put some plants there. Next. And then design. It will be several steps of this design. The first step will be create a list of the plants which are needed for us, and then organize the existing pots with the plants, move them to the new place, uh, making notes for each pot, check the terms of planting and grafting of various crops, buy a webinar about cuttings and learn it. Like it's really simple steps, and I like wrote them for me, and then I know like it's a kind of a plan, and then each step could be divided for several like smaller tasks. but it's really needed to have this order and to not to start with like buying a lot of plants or to do cuttings and then you have no time or place to take care of them. Prepare seeds for planting. It means stratification, scarification, or soaking. Actually, we talk about it on in winter. I think we have Friday permaculture. We had Friday permaculture vibes about this topic: how to prepare seeds actually, and different groups of seeds, and you need to do different preparation for them. Prepare cuttings and prepare the soil and pots. Yeah, let's go next. Okay, so we went to the step implementation. And first, my task was organizing and moving the plants which already exist. So you can see our greenhouse with plants, and you can see also the pots with the plants on already on the places with where I decided them to be. And next, please. Yeah, and of course, I created a list of the plants. Some of the plants will already talk about on the when we have presentation and vibes about rare fruits. I hope it was like the name was like this, and you can see there some plants which could be grown in your place, edible plants, edible bushes and trees. I will not talk about today. Maybe we will create another video about like um, good plants to have in your garden, something like this. Maybe it will be the idea for one of the next vibes, permaculture vibes. Yeah, next. Then in implementation, it doesn't take for me like any time to collect the seeds or to find the cuttings for growing plants because I do it like spontaneously where I am. I just collect all the seeds which is available or cuttings if I see something interesting. For example, I have been in Odense and then I just went to the park and found the edible chestnut and you can see all of the process. It was a picture from the park first and then we put them in the pot. Actually, it needs to be done in autumn because they couldn't be dry. They need to be wet all the time. So we did it in autumn, and then in spring you can see our uh, plant already. Next, yeah, and I tried the figs from a local tree, and of course I put all the seeds in my pocket so I can grow them here because actually it's very good to have a plants close by because they already have the same conditions like in your site and it's really good because they are kind of already adjusted to these conditions and they are the most strong and yeah it's just really good to have to collect seeds where you are like close to your place. This next, Bob. Yeah, and on each pot I have almost each, actually, not all the time because I know the leaves of the plants, so I can recognize them by leaves. But it's really good idea if you just started to have labels for the each pot. I do it like recycling. I use jars from beer, and then I cut them, and then I have this small kind of pieces, and then I write the name. And I have a photo with like this label in the pot, so you can see it. Yeah, so it's kind of doesn't cost any for you. You can just find it and yeah, and use it. Next, Bob. Yeah, and here I can show you how easy you can grow. For example, the right picture is kiwi, just from the shop. I decided to try and just to see what happened. And you can see like they are growing like crazy. And in another picture, you can see some nitrogen fixing plants. It's also really good for the garden because they can share nitrogen with other plants. So I recommend you to have them, to find them. Next slide, Bob. Yeah, and no, you need to come back, to go back. I thank you. And here you can see the this label in the pot. So it's a berberry, small berberry, and it was just I collected the seeds from the street. Actually, I saw the berberry and collect some fruits from it. And the same with wisteria on the left side. The picture. It's from seeds. I also collected them just from the street. So I just want to show you how easy it could be. Like you don't need to buy plants. You can just plant them for free. Next, please. Yeah, and this is pines, the which has which have edible nuts. It's also the idea to grow them if you have some places to get nuts, but with shells, not just with shells, nuts with shells. And then you can grow them to try to grow them. And you can, of course, try to find the like big pines so you can collect the seeds right from there. And on the left hand, you can see the small boxes with the some lavender, rosemary, and some other plants. And then at the in the middle, you can see that this is growing. This is from this year. It was a just small stick, and now it's growing. So it's a already small plant from cuttings. Next. Yeah. And we went to the next step. It's monitoring and maintenance. It's M in SADIMET. And here it requires some analysis again. And I have done some analysis what went good, what went not so good. So schedule is important. Potted plants are very sensitive to timely watering and care. I observed that magnolias didn't grow so well, and then I saw the slugs there. So they ate the leaves. So some plants needs protection. Most of the time, it's enough rainwater for the plants in the pots, and so we have less maintenance in the rainy weather. The normal soil is too heavy for moving the pots, especially if they are big. I think to use soil from the shop, soil and you can also do some add-ins like perlite, for example, to make the soil more fluffy, let's say, and to keep more moisture in it. It's especially good for the cuttings. The plants need some fertilizing, otherwise they grow slowly. So I will add some compost to them. It's very convenient to have the plants. Um, Bob, could you please move my picture because I cannot read the text? Okay, thank you. Now I couldn't see the picture. Okay, yeah, thank you. Um, It's very convenient to have the plants on the paved area. I will continue to have them there. So you can see that it's like good things and bad things. It's just the analysis um, what did you get actually, which feedback from nature, from plants, and so on you get and got. Next, yeah, and then I went to evaluation. And in general, I'm satisfied with the project. It brings me pleasure and benefits others. Now the nursery has 200 plants. Most of them are trees and bushes. It was easy to start because we have all the resources. For developing it, I need more order and structure with the names of the plants. At the moment, it goes more spontaneous way. Yeah, so it's a kind of evaluation for me. And next slide. Mhm. And the next is the last letter. It's T, tweaking. So after I have done the evaluation, I can go to the question what I would like to add or change in this project. And actually, I would like to make a list of all the species of the plants because now I have kind of three of them in different places to separate tender plants in another place so they can get more care and it will be will be more visible for me and in one place so it's easy to check them more often create more connection with other people in order to exchange the plants and seeds and buy perlite and light soil. Like I already mentioned, it was difficult, it was heavy to carry them. And sometimes if you have a good soil, it could keep moisture, keep water longer. So it's even easy to take care of them. So that's why I decided to use to buy soil to use it. Next slide, Bob. Yeah. And if you want to learn more about permaculture, you are very welcome to attend my course next year. It will be spring or autumn, 3 months course, which we will learn a lot about permaculture, but not about only about permaculture. It will be also about like practical sustainability. Will have lots of practice and not so much theory, let's say, but it could save you like 5 years to start permaculture project or to start um, designing something, especially in terms of sustainability, because you will have this practical experience. You will repeat after me. You will see how other people do it. So it could save lots of time for you. And also, we have a good news because this autumn we will have online permaculture course, and you are very welcome also to join. And you can do it in like in your own speed. You can just see webinars and then do the exercise when you have time. So it's really, really flexible. And it will be me and Charlotta who will teach you. And also we will have this chat for participants when you can ask questions. And of course, we will meet sometimes to answer your question, to support you in your projects. Yeah, so you are very welcome to go in our website and check. And for today, I'm done. And thank you very much. And I would like to ask Bob if we have question. So could you please read it for me?
Yeah, we have a question from Instagram. Which species are important for our garden?
It depends. which garden do you want to have. For example, if you want to provide food for yourself, it's really important to have the plants from like all around the year, like start from early spring and then finishing like in late autumn. So you need to think about this question exactly. But if you want to sell something from your garden, maybe it will be more easy to have let's say three kind of crops, and then you can collect them all together and sell them like in some specific time of the year. So it will be easy to maintenance them and to collect them in one time, let's say. I would say, like, if you will go from another side, it's good to have all kind of layers of the plants in the garden. That's why we say that it's forest garden. So we need to have high trees, and then like not so big trees, and then high bushes and small bushes, and then just herbs, and then ground cover crops, and then climbing plants. So you can provide the biodiversity for the earth and for yourself, like food, diverse food for yourself. Yeah. What else, Bob?
Okay, so we have another question. What's the toolkit for permaculture design?
Um, we have different, like I introduced you one of them, this SADIMET, which we talked about today. But we have a lots of tools. I couldn't like I just can say like some names. Maybe it's not from permaculture. It's like tools we use in other areas. For example, smart, how to use smart to, and then SWOT analysis, and then we also use homegrown principles to design something. But it's like maybe big topic for the next Friday permaculture vibes. So I cannot explain it just like right now and in 1 second. Please join a permaculture design course, and you can learn about tools. But most of the time, like I would recommend to start with SADIMET. Then you like uh, then you can write your goal and just go through these steps, which I showed you today. It will be really useful. It could be like land-based project, but not only. You can use like just for the designing something. Bob, do we have more questions, or we are ready to finish? Okay, I think it's it for today. Yeah. Next time, I would like to talk with you about collecting the plants from wild nature, because it's time to start to dry them, to have something for the winter, how to collect them, how to dry them. So we have something for winter as well to eat, like greens and wild plants. So you're really welcome to join us next Friday, and have a good weekend. Bye.